feeling really sick. I'm hearing a voice.
Eddie.
You're not real. You were just in my head.
I'm gonna need Mr. Drake's property back.
I don't know. Why would we do that? If you're gonna stay, you will only hurt bad people.
The way I see it, we can do whatever we want. Do we have a deal?
Are you willing to sacrifice the one thing you hold most dear? You should be extremely afraid.
What the hell are you?
We are Venom.
Hey guys, welcome back to Super Dynamic Bros. I'm Michael Sarabona.
I'm Isaiah Amato.
And today we're going to be reviewing Venom, starring Tom Hardy. Venom is based off the Spider-Man character, but Spider-Man is not in this.
Surprisingly not. And the tricky part was they kept, baiting at it. Like, yeah, maybe he's in this movie, maybe he's not. All throughout filming this movie, up until the release of it. Until we finally know, he's not in this movie.
Yeah, so we live in a Venom world without Spider-Man. And the guys, this is a very, this movie's bad, but it's fun.
Fun bad?
Fun bad.
Like the early 2000 superhero movies?
Yeah, I would compare this to a Daredevil, a Ghost Rider. Just fun bad. And
Fantastic Four?
Nah,
the first one.
Okay.
The first, not that.
Those are kind of fun.
The first two, yeah.
Yeah.
Not that one.
I can honestly say, I wasn't bored by this movie.
I was a little bit. In the beginning part, it's the old, like I said, with the early 2000 superhero movies, maybe early 90s too, up until the origin story, right before they become who they are, that was a little boring. Where I was just sitting there in the theater,
when you're kind of getting Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock's.
Yeah, you're trying to understand who Eddie Brock is and all that before he becomes Venom. And all that.
I kind of liked it because it really they did a good job establishing who Eddie Brock was. He's just this investigative reporter. He's very stubborn, arrogant,
wild, reckless.
Yeah.
He does what he thinks feels right. But I felt like he could have wrote it better or something a little more interesting. Where
the dialogue in this movie is awful.
And the chemistry too between the love interest between them two.
Him and Michelle Williams, who is an Oscar-winning actress, and she is completely wasted in this movie. Has nothing to do.
I felt like her emotions were just not there. And even watching interviews with her too, she had no confidence in this movie, or at least no of the character as much to make it her own or believe into it. It's I just want to, make a strong woman, this and that. It's yeah, you're not convincing me. I'm sorry, and I see it in your work right now.
And I honestly think that everybody, all the supporting characters in this movie thought they were in a different movie, but Tom Hardy knew that he was in a wacky, weird superhero movie.
Yeah.
So he really played off that. And that's honestly the best part about this movie, in a weird way, is Tom Hardy's crazy performance in it. Him as doing the voice of Venom and as Eddie Brock. At one point, he went full Jim Carrey, Nicolas Cage over the top in a couple of scenes. He just it looked like he was having fun.
Which is good because this is a parasite inside you. I don't expect you to act normal, which he did not act normal at all. The minute started kicking in, you see him go completely 180 from the beginning of the movie till now. But honestly, yeah, other than the accent he had, because I really didn't know what accent he was trying to go for.
He does not have a good American accent.
No. I don't know if American accent is hard for them to do, or sometimes some people pull it off as very easy.
They can pull it off.
From what I heard, yeah, it's pretty easy. But him, I felt like you didn't know which American accent he wants to do, because throughout the movie, he could hear it change. Where it's like, yeah, I want to do a California accent or a Boston accent, New York accent,
Do a Queen's accent. Yeah,
exactly. He's like, I don't know what I want to pick, but as long as I talk very slowly, it could be American accent.
Yeah, and for some reason, that was like kind of the one thing that worked for me in this movie.
The accent?
No, I'm just saying just saying like Tom Hardy in general,
yeah.
was like the one thing that really worked for me in this movie. A lot of action scenes are actually really cool. Like, I was a little bit worried going into this movie because I knew that originally it was supposed to be filmed as an R, and probably got edited down to a PG-13. There are sometimes where you can kind of see that happen, but for the most part, I think the action scenes were actually really filmed pretty well.
Oh, it was.
And yeah.
Now that's the one thing too. When I was watching the movie, I got distracted a little bit at first with the CGI because it's not up to par of what we've seen. Like, let's say,
it's not that good, yeah.
Like a Warner Brothers where like Planet of the Apes had their CGI, or even anything Disney.
Like Thanos.
Thanos, exactly. The whole CGI guy himself, or even like how Fox did it a little bit with, let's say, Deadpool.
Yeah.
This one, like with Sony, I felt like their CGI is not there yet, but their action scenes in this movie and keeping it mostly at night, like 90% of this movie was just at night, helped out a little bit.
Yeah, it was very smart to do that.
Exactly, where like at nighttime you can't really tell how bad the CGI is until you see like in the daytime.
And this is definitely, I will say, this is a much better looking Venom than what we got in Spider-Man 3.
That's what I was going to ask you. Yeah. Who do you think did a better Venom?
Definitely this.
Definitely this one.
Definitely this, 100%. I think they actually nailed the character of Venom right in this.
And Eddie Brock himself?
Yeah. I honestly liked Eddie Brock's character. It's wacky, it's weird, but
it's a little monetized too, like modern day. Like, he's not just a news reporter for the Daily Bugle, which I'm surprised they didn't say it in the movie.
That's because that's probably still Spider-Man rights, even though they have Spider-man rights. But I don't.
They're afraid to sue themselves. Is what they're doing.
I don't know. They try so hard to like, no, we don't.
We're not the Daily Global. I'm like, the Daily Global.
Yeah, they did say that at one point.
It's like,
you
what?
Can't say Bugle. It's like, don't you own the rights?
Oh man, Dad, Stanley cameo, as always.
Well, that's a little bit of a spoiler.
I mean, Stan Lee's in every single Marvel movie. I'm sorry. Name me one Marvel movie Stan Lee wasn't in.
A lot of X-Men movies.
Well, they don't count. They're not a part of it.
Yeah, they're still Marvel.
Exactly. I mean, he was also in Deadpool too. Deadpool.
Was he in Deadpool?
Yeah, he was in Deadpool.
Yeah, he was in Deadpool too.
And all the Netflix shows.
Yeah.
Great Stan Lee.
What do you have to say? Did you like the villain? Because not at all. I didn't care for it.
This is more of a stepping stone. I felt like I'm watching this one. It's like, okay, this is just to get me to see the next one.
Yeah, I think I'm just not interested in like these Marvel movies where like the main villain is just like the same powers as the hero.
Or
like
even he said like, yo, this is supposed to be like a lot stronger, bigger, better, but I felt like I didn't see it as much in this one. Like I felt like it ended a little too quickly in the third act.
Oh, the third act came by way too fast. Like, I thought like we were still in the middle of the movie, and then boom, third act, and it's over.
Yeah, I felt like they wasted way too much time in the second act, so where it's like, okay, quick fun ending. And then they just
it was like an improv scene. Fun ending.
That's exactly what improv.
Yeah, so it's honestly this felt like a lost Marvel movie in the early 2000s.
That they just reamped it up, cleaned it up, and just sent it out to the world.
Yeah, so if I'm through our rating scale from dynamic, delightful, decent, disappointing, and dreadful, I'm gonna go a low decent.
That's what I was thinking too. Every time I tried to think of what can I rate this movie, I kept thinking, the action scenes were decent.
Yeah.
Story was decent. Actors were, decent. All in all, it was pretty much decent. Is the only word I could think of.
You should definitely see this just for Tom Hardy's performance alone. It's something else. It really is.
Yeah, if you're a fan of the 90s Spider-Man, Venom, Carnage, and all that, this movie I feel a little disappointing if you're expecting wow, bam.
Yeah, if you're expecting this to be in the Spider-Man universe, no, this is its own thing. Which is weird, but it's its own thing.
But definitely stay for the end credits.
Yeah.
Both.
It's a Marvel movie.
It's a Marvel movie. You know there's going to be at least one. This one too. Stay for both.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for joining us today on Super Dynamic Bros. And as always, have a dynamic day. Venom is based off the Spider-Man character, but Spider-Man is not in this.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 Last chance! Where is that darn bat?
What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Whatever I have to get some answers.
Stop that! Stop it! Stop that!
You'd like me to stop that, wouldn't you? Getting to you?